Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. I'd like to talk a little bit today about enjoying the process of studying whatever art you're studying, whether it's a martial art, a qigong, or an instrument, any physical practice. No matter how good you get at it, no matter how high you climb on the ladder of ability, martially, or health-wise, or balance-wise, or energetically, when you die, there's going to be an infinite amount of room for improvement, It's infinite. It's the ladder just going forever. I'll never be as neutral and unbalanced or unforced balanced as one of these trees, let alone half the animals that live in this park. So no matter how good I get, there's always going to be room for improvement. And so, if you get too caught up in the ego and the achievement and how good you are compared to everybody else and your level of achievement and everything, you can kind of squeeze the pleasure out of it, and still at the end there's just as much room for improvement ahead of you as when you started. You're racing yourself to get to infinity. So not that you shouldn't strive for excellence and that you shouldn't go for it. I think you should if you feel it, but also enjoy the process. Also enjoy what's happening in your body. Enjoy the capabilities and the capacities that these practices give you. Enjoy the benefits that come into your life from being a person who's studying this art, who's trying to find that essential quality of the art. There's all kinds of things we learn about ourselves in doing these arts. You may find out things about yourself that you don't like, or things out about yourself that you do like, but either way you're learning about yourself, like who you are, what you really are. The Tao Te Ching says the sage has his yes and he has his no, which means your boundaries, like who you are and who you're not. And knowing more about that, learning about that, is a really powerful thing. It's really valuable in your life. It really helps if your art is sort of consecrated to some sort of essential quality that you're looking for, something that's bigger than just you. For instance, I'm all about unforced balance, and anything that doesn't contribute to that unforced balance, I tend to try to let go of. I try to cut that out. I don't want to just fool around. I want to do stuff that really encourages and gives me that experience of being myself and being myself in an unforced way. I want an unforced relationship with my body, with my life, with my friends, with my world, with my existence, with my practice, with life. So anything that doesn't contribute to that, if I can't see a way that that's somehow helping that, if a movement or a technique or an attitude or a way of being doesn't contribute to that, then I tend to cut it off and let it go. If your art is about street fighting, then what are the essentials of that? If it doesn't contribute to your fighting abilities, if it doesn't make you a more effective fighter, then you've got to let it go. Same with say your goal is to be more loving and to be more connected and more emotionally available to yourself and to other people, or say your goal is to feel a sense of service, a sense of being useful to other people, a sense of looking around and seeing what needs you can meet in the community and people around you. If that's the thing you're consecrated to, well, what doesn't essentially serve that? You want to let it go. Having some kind of essential quality that you're looking for and striving to embody that quality and let go of the stuff that doesn't contribute to that or stuff that's in the way of that. That itself can be a really powerful process and can help you, in a sense, enjoy what you're doing, because what you're doing is consecrated to that. I love unforced balance, and I see it in nature all around me. I see it in certain techniques and movements, and every now and then I really kind of feel an unforced moment in my body, and I just really like that feeling. And being focused on that essential feeling helps me enjoy the process of trying to embody that feeling. So, the yang side of the equation, the willpower, the intent, the focus, the drive, the setting of goals, the achieving of those goals, the striving for excellence, the practice, the discipline, all that stuff is very, very important. I think a life without that stuff is really pretty poor, in my own opinion. But at the same time, the yin side, the enjoyment, the seeing of the process, not just the goals, the enjoyment of both your body and how it moves and breathes and operates while you're playing your instrument or while you're doing your thing, the enjoyment of the song you're playing, the enjoyment of the art you're doing, the enjoyment of executing a technique, just simply the pleasure of being there and what you learn from it. what you take in from it, the receptive yin side of the equation. I think when that side isn't active, also I think your life suffers for that. So being a Tai Chi person, of course, I'm into balance, and I want to have both. I want to be striving to embody these qualities, but also enjoying them as they happen. So my practice feels better when I'm doing both. I remember years when I was just striving and pushing and constantly focused on getting better, and there was a real positive benefit from being that person, but also there were really things in life that were passing me by. There was a level of life and a way of being that was passing me by because I was squeezing it out of my life in a sense with too much push. But that was a balance process. I went too far in that direction, and I went in the other direction, and I took everything off my plate, and I stopped, in a sense, cleared my plate and just put back the practices that meant the most to me. And gradually I got back in touch with the pleasure of it. And now I'm hopefully closer to a little more of a balance where, I have that part of me that is focused and disciplined in practices and, looking to see how I can improve, and then the receptive part of me that doesn't care about improvement and just wants to enjoy the practice itself for what it is, stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Hopefully those two are a little closer in balance. So just notice if you're totally focused on the pleasure of it, and you don't ever push yourself to, maybe push yourself a little bit. And if you're always pushing yourself and you don't notice as much the pleasure of what you're actually doing, then give yourself a little bit of that if you can, and see if you can find that balance sort of in between the two. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. GeneBurnett.com is my website. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this kind of thing, and keep on practicing.